Hey guys, welcome back. I know I've just updated, like not very long ago, but guess what? No Place Like Tomorrow is officially 80,608 words. I know, I'm crazy. It's okay, because the thing is, when I'm saying, oh, I'm making these huge jumps in word count, what you guys don't know is that I've written pieces of this book for a long time, and so what I'm actually doing is, yeah, there's writing going on in the middle, but there's also scenes getting plugged in that have already existed, and so I'm not, like, writing 10,000 words in a day. I wrote, 2,000, and then plugged in a scene that was 8,000 that I had written a few months ago. Either way, though, that brings the whole document's word count up, and we're at 80,608 words in the actual manuscript document. I just ended chapter 31. I'm going to start chapter 32, and I mean, we're near-ish to completion. I was working with my whiteboard today, my Canva whiteboard, where I've got kind of my plot line all drafted out, and I was making a few changes, some edits, because I don't want book one to be too long for publication purposes, but I do want it to be plenty long enough that you guys are still entertained and that nothing feels rushed and nothing feels like, oh, well, that was just, thrown in there and disappeared and didn't come back. I still want to be able to build the plot and build everything that's happening and everything that's going on, but without overwhelming readers with the first book. I have already outwritten Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which was the first book in the Harry Potter series that was just about 77,000 words. So at 80,000, I've already outdone the first in a very popular series. So what can I say? I'm having a lot of fun with this book, and today, to celebrate 80,000 words, I wanted to do a little reading of another little snippet of a scene. I have posted the rundown of my characters, and the character that exists in this little snippet that I'm going to read to you guys is the main character in my secondary plot line. This is High Prince Hezikiah Stormfast. He is Fae. He has shadow wings, which means in his world, in my universe, Fae have wings. Obviously, they're kind of human-like, but they've got wings. And so Hezekiah has shadow wings, which means that, unlike other Fae whose wings are ever present, Hezekiah's wings can fold and vanish, so you don't see his wings all the time, which I think is really cool. He's the only Fae that has this ability, and among the Fae, him having this ability means he's gifted. He was a gift from the gods, in a sense. So he has this ability to fold his wings, make his wings disappear, and he can look human. Whereas other Fae, their wings are always there, and so they can't appear as anything other than a Fae. It makes them hard to, blend in with society, so they live apart. Lore. You'll get the lore in the book. But what I wanted to read today was this little snippet of a scene. Now, it will only make sense really in context, and here's the basis of the context. Hezekiah is the youngest son in his family, but his brother died when Hezekiah was almost 15. So because his older brother died, and the older brother was the only other brother, and the Fae are a patriarchal society and a monarchy, the throne could not pass to any of his three older sisters. Hezekiah is the baby of the family. He has inherited the throne. They have these entities that are called Reapers. Reapers are lethal. If a Reaper gets sent for you, you die. That's it. There's no argument. You don't argue with the Reapers. You don't argue with, oh, maybe I could avoid them or evade them or get away from them. If a Reaper comes for you, you're dead. You're dead. That's it. That's all there is to it. Except this one time. The Reaper shows up to come and reclaim Hezekiah's soul. There's lore there. You'll learn it in the book. And Hezekiah pleads with the Reaper, and the Reaper actually hesitates and decides, I need to reconvene with my masters, who are called the Watchers. Again, lore. I need to reconvene with my masters and decide whether or not I'm actually going to kill you. So until then, here's my warning. The Reaper leaves, and Hezekiah, having learned some fun information, goes back to the palace to confront his father. And here is what that scene looks like. "What did you do?" Hezekiah threw open the doors to the throne room, interrupting his father's meeting without a second thought. He left his newly black wings unfurled, letting the light make them swirl like smoke, like true shadows behind him. He tightened his grip on the Reaper's blade, holding it out threateningly in front of him. "What did you do to bring down the wrath of the gods on Jacob? What did you do that brought a Reaper here for your sons not once, but twice?" Nobles and generals scrambled away from Hezekiah as he advanced on his father. The king, for his part, rose from where he had been seated near the far wall at a table covered in maps, raising his hands in a placating motion that Hezekiah immediately knew was insincere. "Hezekiah, please. I want an answer," the prince snarled, closing the distance and bringing the tip of the Reaper's blade to within inches of his father's throat, effectively trapping the king between him and the wall. "I want to know why a Reaper left me alive because it couldn't sense your darkness in me. Why did it tell me that my soul, and Jacob's, was bought with darkness? Why are the gods punishing you by destroying any male seed you plant for a dozen generations?" Hezekiah, an answer, father, not an excuse. Hezekiah heard people scrambling for the doors and used his magic to slam them both shut, dropping the outer lock for good measure. "Nobody leaves until I get one. Nobody leaves until I know why I was left alive and Jacob wasn't. What did you do that got my brother killed?" And that's the end of the scene of the snippet that I'm going to share. You guys will just have to come along with me into the book if you want to know more about Hezekiah, more about his brother Jacob, who doesn't get any scene time, but gets a mention here because, well, he was killed by the Reapers, and Hezekiah wasn't. So we're at 80,608 words. We're getting really close to the end. I've probably got another 20,000 words in me. I will probably reach 100,000 with this book. For those of you who are wondering on a release date, I don't know. I'm aiming for summer of 2025. I want to give myself this summer to finish this book. I need to start writing query letters and getting word out to agents and seeing if we can make it work the traditional route. If you've got any tips or tricks for me, if any of you have been published before, let me know. I'm looking for the help here. I'm very close to done with this manuscript, and I've already started the second one. Actually, this is the first in a trilogy. It's No Place Like Tomorrow, No Hope for Yesterday, and No Cure for Today. So I hope you will continue to join me on this journey and celebrate 80,000 words with me, and I will see you next time, where there is no place like tomorrow.